Big D Entertainment, in association with Dipsy Doodle Productions, presents The Dave Holly Hour. Brought to you by TJS Ceramic Studio, Posh Boutique in the Bridges at 57th, The Sky & Tea, XL Chiropractic, Quality Nails, Jesse Moffitt Entertainment, and the Sioux Falls Arts Council. The Dave Holly Hour features Sioux Empire arts and entertainment conversations. A true lover of arts, entertainment, good food, and fun times, including an occasional Jack Daniels. Okay, so a few Jack Daniels. Here he is, Dave Holly.
Welcome to the last show of 2023 as we take next week off after the man in the red suit is finished delivering presents. We have some holiday treats for you today. In a few minutes, we talk about the premiere Playhouse production of A Christmas Carol with TPP's Alex Newcomb Weiland. She even has some Christmas gift ideas for you. Then, something we don't usually do on this show, we'll play some music. Public domain Christmas songs that won't upset the copyright cops. Ironic, the first syllable in copyright is cop. But first, let's pop the cork on this bubbly little show. Time to grab your favorite beverage, lift it high, and toast it to being Thursday, a.k.a. Weekend Eve.
Hey, the weekend isn't around the corner, it's here!
So long, hump day and your frumpy way. We say hello to Thursdays with opening nights. The weekend is near and we can see the bright lights. Yes, Thursday, you're so hearty, we can't wait for Friday, so a day early, we start the party. Whatever you're drinking and whatever you're drinking it out of might very well be determined by where and when you're listening. My choice, a Jasper Newton Jack Daniels Diet Coke with the lime. For you, whether it's a cup of coffee, glass of milk, mug of beer, a cocktail, a glass of wine, or flute of champagne, lift it high and toast to holiday traditions. The old traditions and the ones you start. The Weekend Eve Toast is brought to you by The Sky & Tea. The Sky provides all caps fun, and that is best to add with friends. Have fun playing darts or shooting pool. Have fun listening to great live music from local musicians, or have fun singing at karaoke. Need some extra room to hold a company party, or you're having a benefit? The Sky's back room fits that bill. No matter what's going on at the Sky, it's local and it's lively. Honorable mention. What over the past week made Dave laugh, guffaw, chuckle, chortle, giggle, smile, or maybe even shed a tear of joy? Oh my goodness. The 15th Haig Brothers Holiday Jam. Amazing. As always. Special treat this year was a Spoon Cat horn section added to an already hot horn section. So, wonderful job. The 15th Haig Brothers Holiday Jam. Coming up later in the show, we hear a Holiday Jam version of a great Christmas song, thanks to permission from Jeremy Haig. But up next, the premier Playhouse's Alex Newcomb Weiland on the Dave Holly Hour.
Comedy magician and hypnotist Jesse Moffitt's right. He can't play the piano, but he can sure entertain crowds with his amazing magic and clever quips. His shows always make the participants the stars, especially when they've fallen asleep on stage. They've been hypnotized. Are you the party planner in your group? Then you owe it to your group to make the event magical, even if it puts you to sleep. Here's how.
For booking information, go to Jesse Moffitt Entertainment on Facebook. That's JESSEMOFFITT. Or call 605-929-0964.
Check out the new ceramic studio in Sioux Falls, conveniently located off Kiwanis Avenue on 5th Street. TJS Ceramics, inside Oscar's Mini Storage. We have thousands of classic vintage ceramic mold items and several new items too. TJS Ceramics offers classes, special open studio nights, and completed ready-to-purchase items. Bisque, studio time, or painting parties are available. Visit TJS Ceramics Studio in person today or email tjsceramics@gmail.com for more details.
Are you an artist? Need some funding to further your art? There's a great opportunity for you through a Sioux Falls Arts Council program. The Artist Microgrant program gives away several microgrants to local artists, no matter what art discipline you're in. Unlike more traditional grants, a microgrant is very easy to apply for. Go to artssiouxfalls.org. If you haven't done so yet, create a listing on the Artist Directory, which is beneficial in its own way. Then go to the Artist Microgrants page and apply online. The process is simple. Find out more about the Sioux Falls Arts Council as well online at artssiouxfalls.org.
He's a bit flirtatious, but most of all, fun. Once again, here's Dave Holly.
Welcome back, everybody. Say it along with me one last time for 2023. It's always a pleasure to talk Sioux Empire arts and entertainment. And oh, what a pleasure it is to have Alex Newcomb Weiland in the Dipsy Doodle Production Studio. How are you, dear?
I am doing well, Dave Holly.
Excellent.
How are you?
I am phenomenal.
Good.
Yeah, it's always such a pleasure to talk with you because you are one of the bubbliest without being cheesy persons. You know,
you.
Because, sometimes you run into somebody that's bubbly and it's just, and so forth. And it's like, okay, tone it down. But you just have this natural niceness about you.
Thank you.
Yes.
Well, I appreciate that.
You're very welcome.
It's easy to be matched, when someone else is also bubbly towards you.
Oh,
it's helpful to put it out there.
okay.
So
All right. I like
always
that.
Appreciate your interactions. So
Yeah, because we talk a lot about theater, and we got a lot to talk about right now. So here we are on this Thursday, and we're into the second weekend of A Christmas Carol at the Premier Playhouse.
Yes.
And it looks like, from all the social media posting and so forth, that the first weekend was a rousing success as always.
Yes, it was. Yeah, it went really well.
Oh, that's always great to hear. And good crowds. The house has been pretty full.
Yes, and so reactive. Everyone's been so engaged in the story, even more than I feel like I've seen it in years before. Just more laughs and more joy has come from the audience, like watching the show. So it's been really cool to see, having like returners in the cast and then still like playing jokes, but then like having it be new jokes at the same time that are resonating with audiences. And yeah, it's just been a blast so far.
What year are we now?
This is year 3.
It is year 3.
Yes.
Okay, I almost wanted to say 4, but then I thought, no, I'm pretty sure it's 3. And Tom Roberts is Scrooge once again.
And he's amazing.
Yes, he is. Man, that man makes a transformation. And in such boldness, too.
Yeah.
And I always love seeing him on stage, but the rest of the cast changes every year.
Yeah. I mean, this year I think
it's not a guarantee that if you were playing a certain role last year that you will be doing the same thing again this year.
Yeah, which is something we want to keep doing too. I think it's just so helpful to have, since it is a tradition every year, it's so helpful to have new faces in the show too, to bring just a new spirit to it. I mean, you can, it's fun to have the tradition, but then keeping it kind of ever changing and ever evolving as we go is really fun. So.
Well, I know one of the things was the fact that, hey, you're going to have this set and then you can just keep using the set yearly and so forth. But are there some nuances that change in the set from year to year?
We kind of just try to elevate it more every year. So, this year, which little secret, I guess, is we added some like foam snow on the set to make the snow look more alive. So it's just little details like that just, elevate it a little bit more, make it kind of stick out just a little bit more. So things like that. I mean, a lot of technical things we just always try to improve every year, and just continue to make it better every year. So.
Yeah, and it's so nice that we do have a tradition like that now. Yeah. And, so thank you, Robin Byrne, for starting that and saying, I envision this as, and then for Oliver Mays coming in and continuing it, and all the people on staff that, such as yourself, that just keep making it a fun event to go to for a family.
Yes, I think that's the biggest pull too. It's like all about, families. This is such a traditional story that people have grown up with. It's something we've all know in whatever version, the Muppets, or whatever other version we know. And so it's really cool to just know that can be like not in replacement of those movies, but in another addition to a holiday tradition for families to come to. So it's really, really fun.
And live theater.
I know.
It's just so hard to beat.
It's always a blast.
Yeah.
So.
Although there is one film I'm going to on Christmas Day.
Okay.
I have to see Wonka.
Oh, yeah. The Timothy Chalamet. Is that the one? Yeah. I've seen ads for it. And I thought it looks pretty good.
It does.
I was nervous for a moment because I was like, I don't know how this is going to go. But I actually think it looks.
Yeah. And then Hugh Grant as the Oompa Loompa.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
It looks fun.
That looks awesome.
Going to that.
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
Still a lot of live theater going to over the holidays, and looking forward then to even more things. Now, here's what really made me say, I always like having you on the show regardless.
Thanks, Dave.
And it was just like, okay, we're talking summer camps already for TPP.
Mm-hmm.
And, wait, Christmas presents. That would be between that and or, season tickets, things along that line, some great gift ideas that you can get at the Premier Playhouse.
Yeah, that was kind of we wanted to launch it early too, just to make sure people knew that was available to them, We have 2 camps this summer, so we have our Frog and Toad Kids, or a year with Frog and Toad Kids, and then James and the Giant Peach Jr., which are 2 of like my absolute favorite shows. Also absolute favorite books growing up too. I read all the Frog and Toad books growing up. And I read a lot of the, Roald Dahl books growing up too. So that was really fun to have. I don't know. Those both my favorite shows, and the music is amazing. So I'm very excited about that. But yeah, we have 2 available, and they're open for registration right now.
Wow.
Scholarships will be available kind of later on.
Okay.
Or applications will be a little bit later on, but they are great Christmas gifts, I think.
Yeah, that they would be. So what ages are we talking about then?
Yes, a year with Frog and Toad Kids would be 6 to 10.
Okay.
So, so kind of whatever. You can always message us, if you're like, oh, I'm going to be 6, when we are in camp, not before. That's fine, so people can always know that they can reach out to us if that's a concern of any regard. But also 11 to 14 would be the James and the Giant Peach.
Mm-hmm. And how long do the camps last?
They are 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Yeah, yep. So they kind of overlap with each other just a little bit, but they're in different portions of the day. So the 6 to 10 would be a 9 to noon camp. And then the James and the Giant Peach, 11 to 14, would be a 1 to 5 camp. Okay. So they kind of overlap, but not too much. They only the second week of the first and the first week of the second, if that makes sense.
All right. And so who will be directing these?
We are currently kind of still in the works of figuring that out. I know Abby Schweedhelm, who helped us last year, is interested again.
Yeah.
And a couple other friends that helped us last year also kind of, want to come back and be a part of it. The infamous Hope Dunkel, I'm hoping will return to us again. So she's amazing.
Isn't she, though?
Yeah, she is. She's such a rock star.
No doubt about that.
Yeah. So it's going to be fun. I'm excited for the summer.
It always is.
Yeah.
And then another thing that happens during the summer, the Penguin Project.
Yes.
Oh, man.
I know. It's an
Felt
amazing.
my heart on that one.
I know.
That
I cry
so
every
great.
time it's over.
Yeah.
I love it so much.
Well, the fun thing about this last year was to see somebody that had been in the first one and how at that point needed the the mentor alongside a few times, and you could tell, okay, first time and so forth, and then comes out last year and just boom,
I know,
this is
blows
amazing
it out of the water.
performance. Yeah, and it's that's one of those where the standing ovation is coming. Mm-hmm. It's just like, how loud and how long is it going to be?
That's so real. Yes. Yeah. That's what's like my favorite part about that production in general is just the amazing community that comes from it. We have a Facebook group that we all talk to each other on like throughout the year, which is lovely.
Yeah,
knowing, what
perfect.
other people are doing throughout the year when they're not with us and trying to go and support them. A couple of our performers, Chrissy and Nathan, were in Rudolph at Augustana this last month. I think it was November that they performed
November,
it. Yeah. And so we went to saw them in that one because that was an amazing production as well. So it's really cool just to see how the community grows and then how people come back again, right? And they have new opportunities with different roles that make them shine in different ways. And so it's just amazing. I'm so excited.
When you decided to become a part of the TPP staff, what were you envisioning and compare that to what it is now?
Oh my gosh, that's a great question.
I get in one per interview. That's it.
Yeah, okay. Just one. That's good because I think that's all I know. No, I'm just kidding. Well, I came on in 2020, kind of in the middle of COVID, so I didn't really know what to expect at that point. Obviously, I had always done different things with the Playhouse. Did a couple of shows. My professors had worked there before, and all these things. I guess I didn't really know how fulfilling it would be, if that makes sense. I mean, I love working with children, and that's always been like part of my heart is just loving children and being there for them and helping build them up and growing up, and that's such a hard part of life is growing up. So hopefully having a good, solid support system helps that. So I think that is something I didn't expect to love as much as I did. I already knew I liked it, but not as much as I love it. Does that make sense? But yeah, I think that was kind of my favorite thing is just working with kids, I guess. I didn't expect how much I loved it.
Everybody does such a great job at Premier Playhouse,
Awesome.
and it's so nice that you have the staff that you do. And it keeps building, like you say, but not just that young community with the campers and so forth, but overall, I sit there and I look at some friends of mine that over the past couple of years has just all of a sudden jumped in.
Yeah.
And it's fantastic to see that.
Yeah.
So we have a great thing set up, don't we?
We do. Yeah, it's been a labor of love for sure, but it's been so worth it just to see how many people that have been excited about, the changes that have happened or the growth that has happened over the last few years. And it's just cool to see the community thriving again, and just really being interested in joining us.
And one other thing that started up last year and is continuing, the Premier Premieres.
Yes.
Which was coming up in February. And then along with that, the Glass Menagerie is going to be a special event in March, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. And so what was the decision on, we'll get back to Premier Premieres in just a moment, but what was the decision on having the Glass Menagerie someplace else and later on?
Yeah. So the Glass Menagerie is part of a whole different programming initiative that we're doing.
Okay.
So it's called the Passion Projects, created by Oliver Mays, curated, patent pending. No, I'm just kidding. He just kind of realized that we have a lot of hunger for classic theater in this town. And I think we all are hungry for it as well, right? We love musicals. We love the excitement that brings, but a good play, something like that fits into our season, but it's kind of its own event. It's kind of what we tried to do with the Passion Projects. And it's very low budget production. So it's very micro budget. So that's kind of why we're trying to find a venue that is smaller,
Right.
Still, doesn't quite have the same billing on it, right? So just trying to keep everything a little bit smaller. And so we're doing it at Startup Sioux Falls,
Right.
which is very, very cool. Oliver kind of found that little niche there. I had no idea that little
I was just in it
showroom
a few weeks
existed.
back, and it's like, okay, this is cool because I want to rent it for something else myself.
Yeah, right?
And then they were saying, well, we even put the chairs, they're all on wheels. So you can maneuver it and, set it up and configure it however you wish.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I was like, okay.
That's really
this is cool. So,
Yeah. Well, and
yeah.
it's also just fun to find spaces to perform that maybe are unconventional, right? Or like not a specific theater.
Right. And, that's something else that's come along over
Yeah.
the past, 5 to 7 years and so forth. Think of the book co-op and the plays and different events that they've held and so forth for small events. And, holding shows at breweries,
Yeah.
at coffee shops, wherever anybody can gather.
Yes. Agreed.
Somebody has said, let's perform there.
Yeah. It's
And
so cool and creative,
Yeah.
too, right? Like to transform a space like that, too. It's like your brain just kind of gets to work on curating it in the vision that you have, which I just think is so fun. It's just a different part of being creative in theater, too.
All right, let's go back to the rest of the schedule throughout the year.
Yes.
The program for TPP, including the premieres, which is just a wonderful. I never remember the words that Oliver refers to it as. Development.
Play development? New play development.
New play development.
Yeah, yep.
Okay, those are his words.
you
All
go.
right. Sorry, Oliver.
No,
I
it took
do
me a
listen
second,
to
too.
you.
No, it's okay.
But it's been so fun to see local playwrights get their opportunity to have something on stage.
Yeah.
And, for those that are unaware, how it works is that during the summertime, you put out a call and say, okay, local playwrights, submit your one act or something that's about an hour or less. And so they write for that, and then from all of those that are submitted, you break it down, you get it down to some finalists, and then those are read in one day in front of 3 judges, and whoever from the public wants to show up at whatever time. Maybe you've got a friend that wrote something or a friend that's reading, and it's reading only, no blocking. And one of the other aspects I absolutely love about this, you get one rehearsal. And so then you just go in and read. So then the play is judged for the play itself.
Yeah. Yep.
And I've been fortunate enough now to be in it 2 years in a row.
Woo! And we're so happy about it.
Yeah, looking forward to it. So tell us the 2 entries that we have this year,
Yes.
and then when those dates will be.
Okay. We have Hearing by Richard Swanson, who, that story is amazing. Yeah, as you know. But
Semi-autobiographical, yeah.
Yeah, it's very, very
incredible.
cool. And then we have Comfortably Single by Lee Spencer. So those are our 2 chosen for this year. Our dates for that will be February, hold on.
Basically,
The
Valentine's
week of Valentine's
weekend.
Day. Yeah, or the week of Valentine's weekend. Yeah, so I'm trying to think, it's like the 16th through the 19th or something. Thursday through Sunday.
Thursday through Sunday. There we go.
Yeah. Close enough.
That's what you need
Look
to
at
know.
look at your calendar and you'll see it. I promise. Yeah. So it's going to be fun. We've already started working on production meetings and all that kind of stuff. So
Well, so we talked earlier about the fact that you can go to Christmas Carol, you can buy season tickets, you can get merch, you could put your kids in camp, and those would all be great Christmas presents. But Valentine's weekend,
exactly.
go to the theater,
Come see some new plays and support your local community.
Yeah, and that's the other great part, just supporting local.
Yeah.
And because it is one of those things where you've got the local playwrights, but also, at least, from what I've seen in these 2 years now, you get some new blood in there, too, on the stage.
You do.
And that's got to make you and Oliver and all the others just go, we got something going and we're doing it right.
Yes, it's so exciting to see new people. I love it. It's just, we love everyone that continues to come back too, right? Like that's what makes up the community theater, is the people that are involved. And so it's just so cool and refreshing to see new people that come in and are interested in being involved. We've had a couple new volunteers that have been now a part of like every show this season that started in Little Mermaid. So it's like really, really cool to see they're excited to come back.
So what are we going to see you in next?
I don't know yet.
Wow.
I know.
That's
After Spring
unusual.
Awakening, I took a little break because I knew I was getting into Christmas Carol, which always is a lot of work, but always a lot of fun, So I always need to prioritize my time a little bit. But I do currently have an audition for Hair right now, but we'll see. There's a
good.
pretty big turnout coming out for that, so we'll see what happens.
But by the way, Spring Awakening was phenomenal.
Thank you, Dave.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Brought out a lot of emotions.
Yeah.
Yeah, and just a great way to see a play.
It was really beautiful.
Yeah, well, actually a musical,
Yeah, that's true.
We think of it more as a play, but the music that was along with it, and Good Night Theater always does great stuff.
They do.
In fact, they're then going to be in Live and Local in January.
Yes, which is amazing.
Yeah, so we got a lot of stuff. But what are you looking forward to then the rest of the year, besides the kids' camps and Penguin Project?
Gosh.
What's on that you're going, man, I can't wait to work on this?
Oh man, it's hard for me to pick a favorite because everything is such a different experience. I'm just so excited for all of them, but I will say I am very excited for the musical Hair because it's such a cool musical that's very historical. And I love telling stories from experiences that have happened, obviously. So I think that's going to be really fun. I am very excited for the 2 kids' camps, though. I think they're going to be so much fun. They live in such a similar world, just in the show. It's just magical and mystical, and I love that kind of world. So I'm excited about that. But.
How about the rest of the career for you? What are you thinking about? What's on the agenda?
I've been thinking about
beyond.
I think so. I've been thinking about that a lot recently. It's exciting to think forward and see, what kind of opportunities are open for me to kind of go into. I know I love theater and I don't really see myself doing anything other than that. Whatever capacity that is, I haven't quite nailed on the head yet. But I do really enjoy education and being part of productions, you know, and like helping productions come to life. So it's hard for me to, I have a couple different, like, I was like, do I go to grad school? Do I
was going to ask about that.
Yeah.
Because it seems natural that you could be a professor. I could see that in your future.
I think it would be fun too. I mean, that's kind of both of those worlds of mine, you know, combined into one. And so I have been looking into programs and just kind of seeing, you know, if that would be something I'm really interested in, right? Is pursuing like a full career in theater, which I think seems a little bit more like on the nose for me than other things, you know.
Right.
But yeah, I don't know, I'm so ebb and flow, you know. I just try to go with it as I can and just kind of take it in stride. But I am really excited to have those opportunities come up, you know.
If you weren't working in theater, what do you think you'd be doing?
I have a dream of living in a cottage in like a forest and just kind of like living off my house and working remote and just, you know, doing something like that in a peaceful setting. So I love being home. I'm such a homebody, so it would be really nice to just kind of have a private, quiet life, you know, that I could leave if I wanted to at some point, but I just...
It wouldn't have to be a private island or anything, would
No,
it?
no, I don't think I need that.
You're not going that route?
No,
Okay.
no, just a small little house in close to a forest or something on a mountain would be really nice.
All right. So, you know, it is Christmas time. And traditionally, you know, the questions I ask about, you know, other entertainment, hobbies, things along that line. But I want to know more about Christmas when it comes to Alex Newcomb Weiland.
Okay.
What do you enjoy? And tell us maybe some traditions that you enjoy.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
My favorite part about the holidays is just spending time with family. My family and I both work just a lot. You know, my family has a couple of businesses in town, and the holidays are so busy for them. So Christmas Eve and
very
Christmas.
good businesses, by the
thank
way.
you. Thank you.
The duck is amazing.
Yes. Oh, I know. Parker's just is so good. I can't get enough of it sometimes. But it's very busy around that time. So the 24th, 25th, we have those days off. And so we just spend them together. Whether that's, you know, when I was growing up, we would go to my grandma's in Madison, South Dakota, and Santa would come and we would play music and go caroling and like eat a bunch of food and just all hang out together. And it was a blast. And that was with my dad's like entire family. So all my cousins, my aunts and uncles, it was like 30 of 40 of us at my grandma's house, just like hanging out, which is always a blast. But that's kind of dwindled, you know, as life has gone. We've all have, you know, careers and people have kids and things like that. So this year we're actually doing a progressive dinner. Since my family and I all live in this neighborhood. And so we're all traveling to each other's houses and just kind of checking in on each other and maybe having like an appetizer or a drink or something on the way. And then ending at my parents' house for dinner and games and like presents for the kids. So
that's wonderful.
It'll be fun. Yeah. So one of our traditions is enchiladas on Christmas. So yeah, my mom has like an amazing recipe that she's been using since we were all kids. So we all love it and we all crave it every Christmas.
Since you'll be in the neighborhood.
Yeah, right. I know. They're so good too. Like she always makes so much that we can have leftovers
Christmas
for days.
enchiladas. I like that. That's cool.
It's awesome.
Yeah. How about favorite Christmas song?
Christmas song. Well, the first one that pops into my head is "Last Christmas" by Wham. That's like one of my favorite ones. I love Wham. But also just the classic like the Christmas song, right? The chestnuts roasting on the open fire.
Mel
like
Torme.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
The Velvet Fog.
It's just gorgeous. I know
you know, it's one of those that you know, I knew it growing up and so forth, and then one of the times I was working in radio and actually listening to the song, and you know, every mother's child is going to spy to see if reindeer really know how to fly, and it was written in 15 minutes on a napkin.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Wow.
And so it's just an amazing song. Yeah. So that's very, very good choice.
Oh my gosh. Well, it's just so like visual too,
yeah,
right? Like
true.
you see it like when you listen to it.
And that kind of goes back to like what you like to be on stage. You like to tell a story. Yeah.
I love listening to stories too.
Are we ever going to write one?
I've written a couple different ones, but not for like public consumption. More so of like, I'm in a interesting artistic state and just like writing something down. But, it's all just a little more, I don't know, just something from my brain that's fun. And I love like cartoons and animation. So have plenty of ideas for like children's books that I would like, be interested in, maybe pursuing. But then I also get like, your own artistic like criticism comes in and you're like, oh no, I could never, even though, it's a lot of fun and you're doing it and that's really all that matters. But
all right. So favorite Christmas movie or little cartoon type show?
Ooh, well,
like Grinch.
I will say The Grinch with Jim Carrey is like my absolute favorite movie. I quote it like 12 months out of the year. It doesn't even matter if it's Christmas.
I said 5/8, not 3/4.
Yes.
Focus, Max.
My favorite is him going through his schedule. The
yes. I'm booked.
Yeah. Dinner with me? I can't cancel that again. That's like my favorite quote. Oh my gosh. I use that.
That's excellent.
Yeah, it's so much fun.
You are so much fun.
And
I always appreciate the opportunity to sit down and have a good conversation with you. And the only thing I can really say at this point now is just Merry Christmas.
Oh, Merry Christmas to you as well.
All right. I appreciate you taking time to be on the show as always.
I love it. It's
all
been a
right.
blast.
And we'll be back with some fun stuff in just a moment on the Dave Holly Hour.
Dr. Perry Langston and Dr. Corey Tooney know excellence is in you. That's why they provide you with excellent care at XO Chiropractic, improving your overall health in spirit, body, mind, and will. Get results the natural way. Arrange a consultation, 605-332-9235 or exokairos.com. Excellent care for excellent people. XO Chiropractic, located at 4309 South Racket Drive in Sioux Falls.
Check out the new ceramic studio in Sioux Falls, conveniently located off Kiwanis Avenue on 5th Street. TJS Ceramics inside Oscar's Mini Storage. Bisque, studio time, painting parties, and finished items are available. Visit TJS Ceramic Studio in Sioux Falls today.
For him, every day is a Holly day. Here again, Dave Holly.
Welcome back and Merry Christmas. What the top toy for Christmas this year? Well, it's probably different from last year, but the tradition of giving keeps going. Presents on Christmas Eve or Christmas Day. Well, growing up, our family would gather around the tree and exchange the gifts we got for each other on Christmas Eve. Then Christmas morning, we'd wake up, find our gift from Santa, unwrapped and already assembled for some presents like electric trains. And, of course, a filled stocking that typically had an orange in the bottom to fill up the toe. Christmas Eve would be candlelight service before dinner, which often was Cornish game hens done to perfection by Mama Holly. Then the gift exchange. During dinner and the gifts, classical, instrumental Christmas carols would play on the stereo. I'll just let the music take me to the old traditions for a while. So many wonderful memories, but while the spirit of the little boy is still in my heart, the Christmas wish list is different, and new traditions have started. I mentioned earlier that we were at the Haig Brothers Holiday Jam last weekend. Oh, my love and I have only missed 2 of those concerts. That's our tradition. With special permission from Jeremy Haig, let's end this episode with their version of Oh Holy Night.
Night, the stars are brightly shining. It is the night of the dear Savior's birth. Long lay the world in sin and error pining, till he appears and the soul felt its worth. A thrill of hope, the weary soul rejoices. Yonder breaks a new and glorious morn. You fall on your knees, then you hear the angel voice say, divine, yeah, holy night, when Christ life of
is sure not be. Chains shall he break, for the slayer is his brother, and in his name all oppression will cease.
sweet hymns of joy. Oh, and grateful chorus raise we, that all within us praise his holy name. For Christ is the Lord. We gotta pray. You've got to praise his name forever.
Praise his name forever.
His power and his glory forever. Forever proclaim. Yeah, yeah. One more time. For tonight, holy night, a night divine. Thank you.
Ladies, when it's time to give your nails some love, get that extra special treatment from Quality Nails on South Minnesota Avenue in Sioux Falls. Manicures and pedicures that look great and make you feel fantastic. Zaya and Tony provide professional care for your hands and feet, whether you just want the basics or an extra special look with added flair. Oh, and guys, it's okay to treat yourself too. Quality Nails. Call for an appointment. 605-334-1463.
People ask him where he got his top shelf voice. Dime store? Bargain. Once again, here's Dave Holly.
Thanks again to my guest, Alex Newcomb Weiland. Special thanks to Jeremy Haig for permission to play the Holiday Jam version of Oh Holy Night. As always, the biggest thank you goes to each of you that listen, download, share, and follow. Don't forget, we're not going to have a show next week, but we return with more Sioux Empire arts and entertainment conversations Thursday, January 4th in 2024. Merry Christmas to all. If you haven't so far, follow us on Facebook and Instagram. Besides information about the show, you'll find out when Dave Holly Hour Trivia is going on at Chasers. For all 210 episodes, go online at davehollyhour.com. By the way, use that search function on our website if you want to look up your favorite artists, see if they've been on before, and listen to any of those previous conversations. As the Sioux Falls Arts Council says, together we art. As Arts South Dakota says, home is where the art is. As I say, put some art in your heart. Remember, my name is Dave Holly, and for me, every day is a holiday.
Dave Holly Hour has been brought to you by TJS Ceramics Studio, Posh Boutique, The Sky and Tea, XL Chiropractic, Quality Nails, Jesse Moffitt Entertainment, and the Sioux Falls Arts Council. If you would like to contribute to the continued success of this podcast, simply buy Dave a cup of coffee. Go to davehollyhour.com and click on the coffee cup icon. Don't forget to stay up to date on the show by following on Instagram and Facebook. The Dave Holly Hour is produced in the Dipsy Doodle Studios by Big D Entertainment.
Thanks for listening.